Hello guys, welcome back to Logan Signs Off. Today I'm doing another album review with Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. This was originally released in March 1973. The re-release that you buy now is from 2016 and they're brilliant, actually, new additions. I love them. So the band members, Dave Gilmour, who done the guitars and the vocals, Nick Mason, who done percussion, Roger Waters, who done bass and vocals sometimes, Richard Wright, who's on the keyboards, and they all done this thing called VCS3. So I don't know what that is. So I bought this album because I was talking to Thomas Walsh and I told him I'd buy the album. And about a year later, I still didn't have it. So I got a voucher for Tower Records and I bought this album. And it was 30 quid. So it wasn't too expensive, and it was totally worth the 30 quid, as you'll learn quite quickly throughout this album review. Obviously, it's got a very iconic album cover, the prism with light going through it. I've actually got it here right next to me. Then on the back, it doesn't have the track list like other Pink Floyd albums. It has the album cover. Now, this one has the album cover on the back, except it's a bit bigger, the prism, and also it's upside down to the front cover, which is quite odd. One little thing though that I got quite annoyed with the copy that I got, not because of the music, I love the music, but because of the thing that it's made from. When you put a thumbprint onto it, it marks the album cover, which is quite annoying, but it doesn't ruin the album at all. So, the first song on side A, Speak to Me. This was a nice ambient start. So I noticed that actually at the start has some money cash register noises in it. So if you've listened to Money before, they have that at the start. There's a cash register playing and different samples, but it's in beat and it sounds really good against the bass. And then it kicks in and then that just stops. So it was nice to see that it kind of incorporated some of the other songs into each other. Then you got Breathe, and then in brackets In the Air. Brilliant. I love the start of this. Dave Gilmour's singing in this was class. I really enjoyed listening to the first side of this album, mainly because of these couple of songs. And then On the Run, this was actually an instrumental song. There are actually 4 instrumental songs in this out of the 10 songs that are on it. So, the only ones that actually have lyrics is Breathe, In the Air, Time, Money, Us and Them, Brain Damage and Eclipse. Songs like On the Run, The Great Gig in the Sky, Any Colour You Like, they don't have lyrics. One of actually the songs there with the lyrics are quite odd, I must say, in this album. It's good in that way, but they're very odd. You've also got inside the album posters. I got a couple of posters and they show the band playing. And it's really interesting to see the band playing. I'm looking at them now. They're very, very, very good. Some of them are a bit illustrated, some of them aren't. But that's for another discussion. Then you also got Time. This is an iconic song. Everybody, if you know Pink Floyd, and if you know Money, you know The Wall by Pink Floyd, you know Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Pink Floyd, you have to know Time. It is one of the most best Pink Floyd songs I've ever heard in my life. The chimes at the beginning were weird, and I actually did a 5 on this one. And I've got a couple of songs that I want to go back on, like a Living Thing by ELO. I think I gave that a 2. If I heard that now, I would give it a 5. Then Time, I think I gave a 4 or a 3. Now I would give that a 5. The rest was really good, but when it gets in, it's amazing, and I really like that. Then the final song on side A was The Great Gig in the Sky. So this transition easily from Time. There's brilliant singing, by the way, by Claire Torrey. Beautiful piano in this song. And I noticed that in a lot of these songs, they cross-faded. And that's what I like about this album. It isn't 10 songs. it's one big, long, relaxing, ambient song. And I like the way they can go from, let's say, really relaxing stuff, like to really hard kind of rock stuff. And I like that. I admire a lot of bands for being able to transition so easily from one song to another song. Then we go on to side 2 and we go on to Money. Brilliant. I absolutely love Money. It's a very good song. The only reason why I actually knew this song was because my guitar teacher, Stephen, he taught me how to play the riff of Money on the guitar, and I fell in love with the song. So I said to my dad, here, with Dark Side of the Moon, I'm going to buy it off Tower Records. Is Money on that? And he went, yeah. And I went, yep, I'm buying that record. The riff was amazing in this, obviously, where I was saying with the guitar, the riff in it's very good. And here's a little fun fact. It might sound like that it's just bass or that it's just guitar. It's actually they're both being played at the exact same time. So this was actually very unique, this song, I thought, because it was a different time. It wasn't 4/4 time, it wasn't 3/3 time, it wasn't 2/2 time, it wasn't 1/1 time. Is there even a 1/1 time? It wasn't even 5/4 time. So I like that. And then we've got Us and Them. This transitions so beautifully between Money and Us and Them. Again, Money's a bit of a hard song. Us and Them's very relaxed until it gets into it. Then it gets a bit heavier. Very slow and lovely, as I just said. Interesting lyrics. This was quite interesting. They were like black and blue, and with the lyrics there was lovely reverberation and delay in this that you could hear like Dave just singing down a corridor, and it was really lovely to hear that. And then I also like the sax in this. The saxophone in this was beautiful. I really liked that. And I also loved the piano. The piano in this album is amazing. I have to put it out there. It's amazing. So I don't know if they're performed on a piano or a keyboard, but I think it's not Roger Waters. It's Richard Wright who plays the keyboard, so he might have done the kind of piano in this. I don't know. I haven't actually seen a video of Pink Floyd in an incredibly long time. The last video I saw of them was Comfortably Numb, which, to be honest, is the only video you should ever see. It's just so good. You don't actually need to watch any other music videos to get satisfaction. That'll give you enough for your life. Comfortably Numb, the video live. Then you've got Any Colour You Like. Again, this is another instrumental song, which I don't mind. I'm not hating on the instrumental songs, but I would like to see a bit more singing. So I like the cool synth and, again, the reverberation and the delay. There was some brilliant drums in this and really good instruments used. And I noticed throughout the album, they use everything. They've got Pink Floyd. They don't leave anything to waste. They use every single little thing that they can. So then you've also got Brain Damage. I don't know, is this based on mental health issues? Because like one of the lines is, the lunatic is in my head. It could be, though obviously I don't know of any little problems that any of the guys had. Maybe it's just for a song, and I really liked that. And then there was a nice guitar loop throughout this song, which transitioned between chords quite easily because they were similar chords, but they really clicked during the song against the singing. Nice inclusion of the lyric, the dark side of the moon. So when you're reading the lyrics off, because I know a lot of people do this, including myself, you have to read the lyrics to really understand the song or listen to them. And the last lyric is, and if the band you're in starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. And then there's a little touch on the end of eclipse that is, but the sun is eclipsed by the moon. So there's little niggles of Dark Side of the Moon stuff. There is no song on this album called Dark Side of the Moon or anything, but you do find those little things about the place that just link up to the prism on the front cover, which I really like that, because I always thought, what would a Dark Side of the Moon song sound like? Obviously it will be at the end of the album, real Pink Floyd fashion, no singing, about 2 minutes long, maybe a bit less, just ambience, very nice ambience with some instruments. That will be my kind of thing. So then Eclipse. I spoke a little bit about this actually just a couple of seconds ago about this, and I find that it's a good follow-on to Brain Damage, because as I said, this is my third time now, the transition. It was beautiful. Weird lyrics though, but a good finish to the album. And that's Dark Side of the Moon. So, my other thoughts. I do not have any bad mouthing to get done now. I have said everything I can. I actually am going to rate this. Surprisingly, all Pink Floyd fans will be really happy, but I'm rating it 5 stars simply because there was a couple of factors. A, the album cover is absolutely class. That is my third reason out of the 3 best reasons. The second best reason was because I really liked the piano in this, actually. I really like the reverberation in this. And the number 1 reason, they were all brilliant songs. I would listen to these all again. It's something that you can have in the background, and that it's not something that you can have in the background that you don't want to hear. You just want there to be playing. It's something that you have there, but even if you're not listening to it, you can just get that vibe of it. And I really like that. I admire people who can do that so easily, and that is why I'm giving this 5 stars, and I've spoke the last 12 minutes about how good this album is. So I hope I haven't bored you to death, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Logan Sounds Off Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. 5 stars.